So, fishermansbastion.com states that Fisherman's Bastion was built between 1895 and 1902. So, when you see these photos, you see these visuals, I just want you to think to yourself, how was this built in 7 years? Okay, so they're going to go with the kind of Phoenician symbolism and talk about this. Consequently, the bastion was inspired by the architectural style of the early medieval times, Neo-Romanesque, approximately the year 1000, when the first Hungarian king started his rule. What is more, the 7 towers of the Halas Bastia, sounds like Bastion, right? Features the 7 Hungarian chieftains who had led their tribes to present-day Hungary to settle down in 1895, and the statue of St. Stephen, the first Hungarian king. In short, it is a historical monument for the millennial Hungary. Okay, so my friend Aniku says that the whole story of the 7 tribes is absolute bullshit. She's like, doesn't make sense. And she's actually studied Hungarian all over the world. She has found tribes in Africa that speak a similar diet or similar language to Magyar. She says in the Dakotas there's a native tribe that speaks Magyar. So Max Egan posits that Magyar, or modern day Hungarian, or what we know as modern day Hungarian, is basically the Tartarian language because it relates to the Aboriginal language, Polynesian, Peruvian. We basically find, these root words of Magyar all over the world. Okay, so this is where things get interesting. If you look at the Fisherman's Bastion in Budapest, you can see that its walls are quite new, and the whole structure is more like a fancy terrace than a fortification or a castle wall. You are right. The Fisherman's Bastion was built between 1895 and 1902. Its walls are whitish, there are lots of windows, stone benches, arches, arcades, etc., which castle walls do not have. The current building of the Fisherman's Bastion was already designed to be a beautiful panoramic view terrace to serve as a perfect lookout point in any weather, and also to eschew the beauty of the Mátyás church. During medieval times up to the 19th century, there were thick castle walls on the place of the current viewing tower. There were many sieges, and the castle's building, including its walls, were often destroyed and rebuilt. Okay, you give yourself away, sirs. The castle was founded by Hungarian kings, conquered by the Turks, retaken by the Austrians, attacked by Nazi and Russian troops in the 20th century. So you can imagine that there were not many peaceful years in the history of the Buda Castle Hill. The city atop Castle Hill, Várhegy, was protected by thick stone walls, and various sections of the walls were protected by the castle guards and royal arms, and if needed, by the residents of the castle. Some historians say that this particular part of the walls was protected by the Guild of Fishermen, who lived under the walls in the so-called fish town or water town between the river Danube and the castle walls. In peace, they would fish and sell their fish on the fish market up in the castle. In wartime, they would climb up to the castle and take their due part in protecting their hometown, water town, Víziváros. When there was a little gate as a shortcut in the wall to cater for the foot traffic between Watertown and Buda Castle, as the castle had its fish market too, where the fishmongers could sell their fresh fish. So I think it's very interesting that they talk about the star fort. They basically admit that the walls are much older, and I believe that probably the Buda Hills I think there were tons and tons and tons of these massive structures, these star fortifications in Buda, and I think they were destroyed in many, many resets, and they were, basically the bottom layers were salvaged, and they built up, and so you see today these magnificent views of Buda, the Buda Hills. I believe that, this was a massive star fortress. That's where Bastion it comes from. So anyway, I hope you enjoy this video. It's pretty long, but there is a bit of analysis in it. I talk a little bit about where I am. The audio is not that great. But yeah, thank you so much for your support. I really, really appreciate every comment, every like. I'm learning that the Mudflood community is much bigger than I realized, and I'm just so excited to reveal my findings to the world at large. So thank you guys. You guys are so great, positive. Love your comments. Thank you so much. All right, I hope you guys enjoy. What you will see in this area is they've dug out quite a bit of this because obviously this is one of the most impressive, breathtaking parts of the city. So you're going to find a lot of these kind of labyrinth, cellar type entranceways. It's very visible in this area, in the 1st District especially. It's very, very cool area if you ever get a chance to go. It's just the architecture is breathtaking, and you get a real feel for Tartaria and all of its magnificence. Twitchy. So it's like a catacombs. Catacombs! So it's very visible in Buda. Mudflood. Beautiful streets. I miss this stuff. Just love the colors, stonework, archways, dark columns, terracotta roofs, little decorations. I find these very good, very fascinating here. See this sometimes. I kept the old archways, the doors, windows. So these, ooh, seems like there's a vent compressor in here. So they made use of the Mudflood area. An electrical box here. Jó napot kívánok! The German embassy, Budapest. And you notice the eagle, only one head. It's very, very important. The Tartarian eagle had two heads, and they chopped off one of the heads to say, hey. Parasite said, hey, we're in charge now. This magnificent tower. Here's some path that's been dug out. This area is obviously very important, so they dug this all out. This is a very frequent feature around a lot of these old cathedrals and towers. They have little promenade areas where they dug out the mud. Hello! Oh, fingers in the way. It's a pigeon. Yeah, they definitely dug all around this church. Right, I don't know if it's a church, I think so. And this is pretty cool. And here. And then back to St. Mátyás. And more Mudflood windows, even where they dug it out. So, pretty impressive area in general. VW bus. Yeah, this is Buda Tower, or St. Mátyás Church. Church in Hungarian is Templom. And you see, right in front of the Buda Tower, it's all been dug out. So the mud must have been pretty high. Maybe we can see some markings where the mud was. shaky. The mud was like around here. It's pretty. These vast marble blocks, very Tartarian. This is newer. It always looks like shit when it's newer. But down at the foundation, you have these magnificent blocks. Here we have the double-headed eagle of Tartaria. I have yet to see it in Hungary, but I've seen it in Greece and in Austria. So this is the military museum. So there's like a couple tanks over there. So that's really interesting. And I saw this Tartarian double-headed eagle. Who are we? Got the two owls. So another symbol of Tartaria as well. National Museum of History. His story, not our story. But very interesting stuff. So here are the Mudflood windows. Progressively get larger. Palace. Symbol of the Tartarian Emperor.